Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Great to see you all. What a day. Let's turn this down for you. Yes, well, yesterday hit the wall hard. Per standard issue, I get home after night shift and just wrecked. Pretty much, yeah, 2 weeks. I think it's strange, this one. It's been a long 2 weeks where you know you've got a big sort of holiday or time off coming up. We've got maternity leave, long service and some leave in there, so it all equates to, I don't go back till mid-July now, so it was pretty weird actually. I think I said in the last Another Day, Another Vlog, it was sort of strange feeling leaving for such a long time. When you basically live somewhere, I guess, especially having to pack up my room, which I was the first person in that room when they built it 10 years ago, and now I have to get out of it and I have no idea where I'm going back to when I go back. So that was pretty darn weird. Yeah, it was a little bit sad, I guess. I even actually, as I walked out, I cleaned everything yesterday morning. And I walked out and took a photo of my front door, just to sort of remind myself of the last 10 years of my life. I guess it's yeah, I guess 10 years, and it seems to be, I guess, part of my life. I've sort of lived Darwin most of my life, grew up there, and then I went to Adelaide for baseball and for my apprenticeship. I spent 10 plus years there playing baseball and finished my apprenticeship and just learning life and having probably the best time of my life, I guess, ever in Adelaide, and with so many great mates. And then went back to Darwin after Mum passed away, and then after my divorce I moved to Perth and started a new life again. So that was a new beginning, and it's been ridiculous that it's been like 12 plus years that I've been in Perth now. So I think that, and with work, and it just sort of all hit, so I was like, wow, yeah, something different. And I guess I was just tired. I had put in some epic work this week, or the last 2 weeks, on the last month, just getting stuff, content and video and stuff. Last break, I don't think I stopped. I didn't have Carla or Jack home with me on the last break, so I just went crazy and trying to record as much as I could. So I'm sort of ahead of the game, so I can bring out the one video a week to complement the Another Day, Another Vlog series, and sort of always have stuff there for you, which is good, because going into what we're doing now, which was selling 2 houses and moving to Queensland and all that sort of stuff, I never know what I can and can't do, and some days I'm just going to have to just shut it down and just focus on home life, I guess. So you'll see it as it comes. I'll keep you up to date with what we're doing, and it's supposed to be a daily. Yesterday was just, I was speaking Swahili in about 4 languages by about, I think, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think I had dinner and I had a glass of red, the first drink I'd had in 2 weeks, and all I could think about was putting my head on a pillow. And I don't even really think I remember hitting the pillow. That's how smashed I was. So yeah, it was a big time. Change of the century, or change of the, what do you call it, the millennium, or not the millennium, the 10 years. So yeah, big deal. So it actually felt it for me for the first time. So yeah, very cool. Lots of stuff to do in this first couple of weeks. I'm waiting for a delivery for the video. Next video, hopefully I've got some other videos I need to edit to get out, but next video we're recording is Boca bearings, which are an awesome company. I use them in all my fishing reels. Amazing product, so I've got no problems putting them out there to you. Fantastic mob of people, always really good on getting emails back, very good customer service, so very super stoked with them, working with them again. They're sponsoring our team, and they've given us out some vouchers, so we'll be having some giveaways coming up. When we do this video, there'll be some giveaways in regards to that video. It's a product not from their fishing side, but more so to highlight the other stuff that they do, and they do stuff for you like bicycles and stuff. This is my pride and joy, my Flowball Fly, my PK Ripper. If you grew up in the 80s like I did, PK Rippers were like the most amazing bikes ever. I dreamt about having one as a kid, and I think one of the first things I did when I started in mining, when I could afford to pay my bills and have some extra money, was I bought this. And I love it. We've done thousands of Ks on this. Everyone looks at me funny, an old bloke, 45 or nearly 45, couple of days left. 44-year-old riding around on a 24-inch BMX, but I will not ride anything else. I don't believe in gears, I don't believe in suspension. I've ridden a BMX my whole life, and I'm happy to die on a BMX. And I love it. I couldn't be happier. So we're going to be doing that. Actually, the bearings in here are smashed. So I'll be getting all that together in the next couple of days, starting the B-roll side of things. And once the bearings drop, they get here in the freight. They're all ordered. Then we'll be changing out the bearings in here in the crank set, and also the wheel bearings as well. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a sponsored video. They've looked after us really well on our fishing team. They support us with that. You'll see them on our team hats, on our team shirts, and when we do the Barra Classic, all my reels, including my what have I got in them? My Metanium's got Boca bearings, all the ceramic ones, they're fantastic. So if you are looking for fishing gear, we will have I think I've got a new thing coming soon, so I'll drop that down, but there'll be more. I'll explain more about that once the video comes out for that, so it won't be far away. So yeah, there's heaps happening. I've still got the Perth street photography session I did last break. I've got my bushwalk I did, which I think I've got some mega photos in there. Super stoked about showing you those. A little bit of a bushwalk I did through camp, my last one for 5 months. Yeah, still a fair bit to go and a lot to do, and some other ideas I want to get out to you as well. Anyways, let's get some news done. And we're going to move straight into the fishing side. Now, you all know I'm a mad Barra fisherman. If you've watched this channel, if you haven't and you're only new, I am a mad Barra fisherman. I get 1 week a year, maybe week and a half, I guess you could call it, to go fishing. I work in a mine site, and I was stuck in a room. Well, now for the last 3 years, I've been stuck in a room. I used to work on diggers and loaders and stuff like that out in the pit. In the last 3 years I do breakdowns, so I'm stuck in a, I guess, 4x4 office, no windows, 6 screens and a two-way going off in my head for 12 hours. It's not the most funnest thing, but it's a job, it pays the bills, and that's what it's all about. It's less physical, more mentally draining. It's definitely not physical at all, it just mentally crushes you. So that 1 week in a year where I just get to switch off, sit in a boat with 2 of my best mates, Halves and Nidge, and we just fish, and we're all 3 of us work our butts off all the year. They're both Sparkies. One runs a team of guys, the other one runs a business, as well as a fiery he's also been fighting in the bushfires, so I'm sure he needs a bit of a break as well. We're looking forward for that. We're back in it this year. They've had some rain in Darwin, so fingers crossed they get enough. I keep monitoring out there, and they get a little bit of rain. They need a bit more in Catherine area, so it'll flood it down, but there's a little bit up on the floodplain, so fingers crossed we might get some runoff this year, which is what we really need. So looking forward to that, and obviously I'm a big Shimano guy. I do have a Daiwa Roga, and I love it. So I'm impartial to both, but my favourite reel is the Calcutta Conquest DC 2019. I was probably one of the first outside of Japan to get it. You can go and watch a video on the channel. I'll link it up here for you to check it out. It is a sensational reel. I love it. I used it, even though we didn't catch any fish last year. I actually got to be honest, I don't think I took it out of my hand. I had the Metanium there. If we were going to get into a flicking thing where we found a spot where we were going to flick, I was going to go the Metanium. I didn't need to, because we pretty much trawled a lot because there was just no fish. So yeah, I was living on the Conquest. I was flicking that as well. I was doing everything with it, but what a reel, I love it. Now they've come out, Shimano's come out at the Yokohama show. They've announced a new 101, so the 200 is what I've got, which is it's a big reel, but obviously it's a fairly heavy duty sort of a reel. The 101 is going to be that lightweight, light casting, small little lures. Be great for you bass guys over in the States if you're looking for a bass reel, but you want that extra grunt in there when you do get that 10-pounder on and you don't want to lose it, but you want to be able to cast something a little bit lighter. Definitely have a look at this. I can definitely vouch for it as a reel. It is second to none. The Daiwa Ogre is probably Daiwa's elite. I guess the Steez as a bait caster is probably your next best, but against the Ogre, I would put the Calcutta DC above that any day of the week. So this 101 is going to be at the same level. It's just a smaller, compactor unit, smaller spool, so you'll be able to get those light lures out. So definitely for you guys that were unsure about it and looking for something light, I suggest probably in the next month or two, start looking at those Japanese tackle shops and you'll be able to hook yourself up one and get it. So very, very cool. Trump. Let's go into Trump. Trump's rules. They've gone in today into the Senate. Trump's rules have been announced for the Senate, how the trial's going to work. There's so much that goes into these things. It's pretty crazy for us normal folk to understand. Basically, the Senate, which is run by Trump's people, I guess, they've got the majority. They've come out and said there's probably not going to be any new evidence put forward. So whatever's out there has already been put against him. That's what they're going to go off. You can sort of let that fly. So, well, I think there's already enough out there anyway to smash him. So that's probably okay. Concerning bit is they've said if witnesses are allowed, then they will be interviewed behind closed doors before they come out in front of the public. So that's a bit strange because obviously if they interview them and there's something negative there, they have the opportunity then to bounce them and they never get out in front. I think not that I'm American, so I really don't have a say in it, but it seems, yeah, a little bit weird. Definitely, I think the whole thing's been weird, but if you're going to have a trial, even from Trump's side, if he wants to get that stigma off him for the rest of his life, I mean, maybe he just doesn't give a shit, but if you're going through it and someone's persecuting you and you think you're okay, well then you want to come out and go, righto, let's do this thing and get it out in the open because I want to get this done and dusted and never have to talk about it again. Because even if he gets it through, it's going to be a stain worse than any red wine stain. Red wine. That he'll ever have to endure for the rest of his life. And no matter what happens, everyone will be asking him for his life unless he just... You're better off, I think, sometimes just coming clean and getting it out. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. If he is that adamant that he's done nothing wrong, well then you realistically got to come out and go, yeah, well, right, bring them all on. I'll refute the lot. It's all good. So yeah, very interesting. So that's sort of where they're at. Tomorrow is the actual start. I think it's been delayed more times than, yeah, I can poke a stick at. Definitely something different. Rightio, let's get in some other stuff, in some tech and some camera stuff. Ooh, it's like tools for mechanics. I've got a whole box full of tools over there and I had to go through them today to get some stuff. And you'll see probably more of them when I'm doing up the bike. But photography gear is super mega expensive and it's just constantly changing. Like all electronics is crazy. Leica's come out. We're going to get a Leica first. The M10 monochrome has been released. It's a super high level black and white camera. I guess that's a basic way to put it. Its sensor's been fully redesigned. They had an old model 5 years ago. They've redesigned it, redesigned the sensor. It is, if you don't understand the difference between black and white and color, black and white, yes, it is black and white, but there's obviously levels of black and white And some photos, and I know it, I had this discussion with my wife tonight, some photos look better in black and white, but they're very rare. It's very rare that you get a photo in black and white compared to how many photos you go and take and go, yeah, I need that in colour. Most of the time, and I'm gonna just chuck a figure out here, say for myself, I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, a photo looks better in colour. 10%, yeah, there's that 10% where you go, I'm gonna just check that out in black and white, and you just put it over in Lightroom and go, yeah, okay, yeah. And I've probably got one really good photo from Bells Rapids this year that I actually went to it and went, oh, it's not the real flash, and I put it in a black and white and it looked really good. And I've put into my, I think one of the Bells Rapids, the Bells Rapid video, if you go check that out. I'll try and link that up there. And that would come up really good, black and white, because it had the white foam on the water and it was swirling when it was coming down. And it was a slow-mo shot, so the water was sort of all dark anyway, and then you had these white swirls, so it suited black and white. Well, this camera only shoots in black and white, but it's got different levels of black and different levels of white. So it's not black, white, it's black, 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 grey, 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 white, 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 white. If that makes sense. Now, the big thing, it's $8,300 US. It's so there's nothing to say about the quality. It's an amazing camera for what it does. It's awesome, portable, amazing, super high quality monochrome camera. For 8,200, that's about 12,000 Australian. Not an effing chance in your life I could have even contemplate that for a black and white camera. I mean, I do love some black and white photos, and I've got many in my past that I've made. Even when 20 years ago, when I actually used to take photos on film, I loved taking stuff on black and white cameras. I think that's how I started, was they taught us in black and white, and we had to work our way up to colour as in our schooling. And that was part of the photography classes, was to shoot in black and white, to understand that side. But there's no way I'm paying $13,000 for a friggin' black and white camera. I would definitely pick up a Pentax K1000, go get some Ilford black and white film and punch out shots and go get it developed. Because then you're gonna get that black and white feel, and you're gonna get the real photographs. Not a $13,000 computer sensor that senses black and white colour. If you want black and white, punch it out in film. That's what film's for. They still have them. You can get a cheap K1000. I've looked at them, like 150 bucks for a top of the range Pentax K1000, and those cameras are bulletproof and amazing. Go get that. Right. Next, new EOS R M2. There's two rumours on the Canon rumour site. There's two new cameras. One we've talked about multiple times, the high megapixel sucker, the new possible Pro version, and they're also talking about the ESO-R Mark II. This one is going to be possibly this year. They're talking about that. Now, the good news on it, the new rumour come out lately, is it's going to possibly have a CF Express card slot. It's going to have an SD card slot and a CF Express card slot. That's fantastic news. Having one card would be no good. Two cards would be fantastic SD wise, but if you go one CF Express, one SD, so you could have one, maybe the SD as your backup, and then run everything through your CF, well, that's fantastic. That's super high punch rate, so if you're doing high speed stuff, or just to get the thing transferred out to your computer, if you've punched out a couple of thousand photos in a day, is going to be huge for everyone. So that's a pretty cool deal. And yeah, it's only been out for a year and a bit, so it's strange that they're coming out so quick. But I think the latest talk is that ESO-R and the RP would just sort of fill the gap sort of things until they got something good of high quality. And again, 2020 is going to be the year for Canon. Everyone's said it, and I think they're going to be right. It's boning up to be a monster year. I'm still looking forward to September when the new M50 comes out. I've put on a couple of spots where my dream M50 would be. Obviously, it's going to be well above the price point if I get what I want, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Definitely some things could upgrade in that. The form factor and size is don't need to change that, but definitely a CF Express, some different other things would make a world of difference. Staying on cameras, we'll stay there next. The Fuji XT200's been released. They're saying it's an entry level, but it's 1,400 bucks Australian, which is not really entry level. When you get a M50 for 600 bucks on eBay, brand new, so I don't know where they get the entry level bit. It's got that old school look, so it's got that old Pentaxi look to it. 24 megapixel phase detect autofocus in it, no stabilization. It does have a rotating flip touchscreen, the same as the M50. 2.8 million dots. It's got an EVF, same as the M50. Only at 2.6 million dots. They're saying that's not real flash, but it's about standard. It'll shoot 8 frames a second, stills. It is missing some of the Fuji simulator modes that they're sort of renowned for, which they're a little bit, a few of the Fuji boys were a little bit disappointed about. And there's a couple of them were actually the monochrome and another sort of black and white sort of style. So that was a couple of things missing on the, I guess, the software side. Video is pretty good, 4K 24 frames, same as the M50. What is really bad, video-wise, 15-minute cutoff. That's, yeah. What are we at? 21 minutes already so far. Yeah, I'd be stuffed on 15 minutes. I waffle on far too much for a 15-minute cutoff. It's bad enough on the M50, and especially also if you're doing long exposure stuff, or you like night sky if you're trying to get star trails and stuff. Yeah, tricky on this. So yeah, watch out for that. I thought that was a bit weird. I'm assuming it's something to do with heat and not being able to get rid of the heat out of the unit. It's a pretty small unit. Headphone jack comes with a USB headphone, little wireless one, so that plugs in because there's no headphone one. There's no headphone one on the M50. I really have a need to use it actually. I go with these Rode Wireless Go. These are fantastic ever since I got them. Thank you, Rode. It does have a normal mic jack in there. It used to be a smaller jack point, now it's gone up to the regular 3.5, so that's fantastic. That's a good update. It'll do 120 frames a second, 1080p, same as the N50. They're saying the video's a little bit average, and by the specs, it doesn't sound real good. And realistically, overall, for that $1,400 price, I think you'd have to be crazy. Unless you're a mad Fuji fan, if you're looking for something entry level, I'm going to have to suggest the Canon M50. It's still a bargain for what it can do. 4K, does the 120 frames, 120 or is it 100? Yeah, I'm sure it's 120 frames a second, 1080p, 4K at 24p, 30p. It does everything, 24 megapixel thing, and in September, she gets upgraded. So yeah, if you are a Fuji fan, definitely a new model. They say it's a really good camera. Like, specs are one thing, images is the other. The photos were pretty good coming out of it, so very impressive. Right, let's get on to some bad stuff. It's a little bit average to hear about stuff like this. Everyone knows, obviously, with Australia, with the bushfires, it's been pretty tragic for everyone involved, which is not good. There's been some alleged, I'm going to put that out there, alleged reports that the Red Cross is playing up a bit with the money. So far, they've taken in about $110 million. And the rumours, alleged rumours, are saying that only 30 million of that is going to be given out at this current stage. Now, they're giving it out in grants of 10,000. They've given out 700, but there's still obviously tons of people that need money ASAP. People want to know where the other 85 million is sitting and why it's sitting, and not just all punched out to these people. Why is it only 10 grand? Like, by the time, if you've got to stay in a hotel, you've got no clothes, you've got no nothing, you've got to pay for insurance excesses, you've got to go and get a new car, you've got to hire a car, all those sort of things. 10 grand is not going to go jack squat. So it's pretty pissed off people in regards to this. They're saying that 10% of all the money given to the Red Cross Australia is going into friggin' admin. 110 million, 10%, that's 10 million bucks. That's ridiculous. Yeah, not impressed at all. There's a lot of great people that have done some fantastic work, even down to that Instagram lady that like got a kid off and sent photos out the bloke and raised 700 grand. I would just be mortified if I was these people that have gone out of their way to raise the money, to know that these dickheads in these friggin', and we all know they've been doing it for years and years. World Vision's well renowned for being a bunch of scumbags. I've never given anything to them for that reason, because there's more people working for them to admin all this sort of aid than, so the money, half the money goes to friggin' working on how to get the money to someone. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes it's better to give to those little smaller ones, the local charities, the local RSLs and stuff like that, where you know the money's going to get given straight to the people that need it. It's disappointing in such a horrific time as this in our history of Australia that these societies don't have the brains or the balls to stand up and just go, you know what, this is what we normally do and that's just our standard operating procedure, but this is different. This is a different set of things. What we normally do for the next month, everyone that works for the Red Cross, which used to be a volunteer organisation, apparently it isn't anymore. How about, as part of our gift, is we all donate our next month's time to you. Well, yeah, we'll give you basic money to pay your bills. Everyone's got to pay bills, understand? But this is going to be basically, there's going to be no bonuses this year. We're going to go out, that's going to be our gift to these people so we can get this money out. And every cent should be going out now, not later, not whatever. If you need more money later, well then that's a different sort of raising. You've got to raise it then. I don't understand it. And I think the people who have mentioned it have been the same, similar to me. It's just like, it's not, how do you do this? That's very weird. But a bit concerning. So yeah, obviously, if you are going to donate, please just check up on the organisations you are donating to. I would hate to hear that some of this money isn't getting it to where your hard-earned money is you want it to go to. And I know I didn't have any money. I gave what I could. 20 bucks, that's all I could afford at the moment. And I give that to the comedian's charity, but I knew the charities she was giving it to were the local firefighters and that, so I was going straight to them. So yeah, just be aware, I guess, is probably the thing to check out on that. And that's about it. That was a big one. Have a day off and look what happens. It all piles up. Anyway, that's it from me. I will see you all tomorrow for another day, another vlog. Hope you're all well and safe and through the week. Coming into Friday, nearly last day of the week. It's time to kick back and relax. One day to go. Get it done and then chill out with the family. See you all soon. So if you're coming that way or that way, I'll see you here. Ciao.